What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about this rumor that Kathleen Kennedy has been banned from the set of The Mandalorian 2. We're going to talk about the rumors. We're going to talk about my initial reaction, some of the reasons why I think it might be true, and other reasons why I think it might not be true. I'm going to cover Bounding into Comics' story on it, but ultimately, when I first heard this rumor from Doomcock, my friend, and you all know, I've met Doomcock, I've hung out with Doomcock. When I first heard it, I kind of dismissed it, because I said, that is insane to even think that, Kathleen Kennedy could be banned from the set of The Mandalorian 2. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I didn't really touch upon it, and then I did reach out to, my source at Lucasfilm. I'll tell you what they said here in just a minute. But then after I watched this video, I got to thinking about it, and another story jumped into my head, something that has actually been confirmed, which if you hear this on the outside, it doesn't seem to make sense, but it actually happened. And that is that Christopher Nolan banned Jon Peters from the set of Man of Steel. Now, most of you should know who Jon Peters is from everything Kevin Smith has told us. Jon Peters has been in Hollywood for a long time. Very, very connected individual, and that was an executive producer on Man of Steel, has had a long-running history with Warner Brothers. Now, again, I know that's not the same exact thing as Kathleen Kennedy is to Lucasfilm, but what I'm saying is both of these stories don't seem to make sense on the outside looking in. But Christopher Nolan did ban Jon Peters from the set of Man of Steel. It absolutely happened. And even the more hilarious part of this is that Jon Peters still made $10 to $15 million from the movie that he was banned from. Now, a lot of this comes into how much power Christopher Nolan has, because I believe Christopher Nolan is the most powerful man in Hollywood. Nobody messes with this guy. He is a legitimate alpha. He just does not put up with bullshit. And, not many people, very few people can pull off banning an executive producer that has the connections that Jon Peters has. But Christopher Nolan did it, and Peters still made $10 to $15 million. Absolute nonsense. But that's what entered my mind when I started thinking about this story. So let's talk a little more about it. Now, again, I have still not given you my opinion on this. I'm setting the table for you. So here's Bounding into Comics. Rumor: Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy banned from the set of The Mandalorian 2. A new rumor details that Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy has been banned from the set of The Mandalorian 2. The rumor comes from YouTuber Doomcock, who tells his viewers, "I have some alleged leaks straight from The Mandalorian production regarding Kathleen Kennedy and the future of Lucasfilm." He adds, "This information comes from me via a brand new source, albeit a source I've known for some time. A friendly source. I have no reason to suspect this person would feed me false information. As that said, please treat this information as rumor pending further confirmation." Now, see, that's one thing that never, ever, ever gets mentioned when these people are going after Doomcock. They never mention that he always prefaces this by saying it is a rumor. He always does this, and they never, ever acknowledge that he says it's just a rumor. I am informed by this source, who is directly tied to the people who close to knowledge of The Mandalorian Season 2, that they are currently shooting Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and that Kathleen Kennedy has been banned from the set. Now, again, that sounds crazy, but it also sounds crazy that Jon Peters can be banned from the set of Man of Steel by Christopher Nolan and still make $10 to $15 million. But Hollywood's a weird place. He adds, "I repeat, according to this rumor obtained directly from the sources with direct knowledge of the production, Kathleen Kennedy has been banned from the set of The Mandalorian." Doomcock then details that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will take control of Lucasfilm. "I am informed that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are in the process of seizing control of Lucasfilm," says Doomcock. He continues, "As much as 2 weeks ago, I might have doubted the credibility of this information. However, this rumor dovetails neatly with the reporting from Midnight's Edge regarding the current state of Lucasfilm." And Midnight's Edge has been doing a fantastic job of all of that as well. And then he kind of just talks about a lot of different things that he's discussed. I'm not going to read everything. This isn't the first time we've seen a rumor that indicated Kennedy was in trouble at Lucasfilm. Making Star Wars, Jason Ward reported back in October that Kennedy would step down as Lucasfilm president following the release of the 5th Indiana Jones film. However, he indicated she would stay on as a producer for future Star Wars. He also detailed that Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige would restructure Lucasfilm with separate divisions run by other people. Again, all of this has some substance. All of this has some substance. The other day we were reading this article with this new Star Wars film, and within the article during Friday Night Tights, Gary caught where it mentioned that Kevin Feige has been, pitching different Star Wars ideas. Now, Kevin Feige is one of the most accomplished people in the history of Hollywood. What he's done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, whether you like it or not, that is irrelevant. He is one of the most accomplished people ever. So for Kevin Feige to have that much power, for him to walk into Lucasfilm, he's not just walking into Lucasfilm to be a wallflower. He's there to make some major changes. So that is another piece to this puzzle. Now, back in, let's see, so when Collider originally reported Obi-Wan series has been put on hold, and as the crew had assembled at Pinewood Studios was sent home, we remember all of that. But also, there was a part in here where it talks about Weintraub's reporting. Weintraub wrote, learned a lot in the past few days about the behind the scenes at Lucasfilm. A lot of the blame on the Rise of Skywalker falls on Kathleen Kennedy and Michelle Rejoin. Might do a story saying that it was JJ who came up with bringing Palpatine back, which was a huge mistake. Both the Kenobi and the Rogue One spinoff getting delayed, Iger's comments on focusing on the Mandalorian, the box office disappointment of the Rise of Skywalker, and the direction Disney went with Star Wars, and the fan reception to it definitely lend credence to these rumors that there are some changes being made at Lucasfilm. And one of the big ones could be Kathleen Kennedy. What do you make of this rumor? Do you think Kennedy was barred from the Mandalorian set? Do you think she's on her way out of Lucasfilm? So again, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Now, I reached out and spoke to, my sources at Lucasfilm, and they told me that they were not willing to 100% deny the rumor, but they definitely did not believe it. Now, that's from them. You can take that or you can leave that. That's just what I heard. They did not believe that Kathleen Kennedy has been banned from the Mandalorian set. That is all I've heard. I've heard no other substance to back that up, no other details. But again, when you hear someone is banned, you go back to the story of Christopher Nolan and John Peters. John Peters has had one of the most infamous and oddly inspiring rises to power in Hollywood history, talking about his path to get there. Hence, while after being essentially exiled from the industry following Superman Returns' muted reception, the man who helped co-run Columbia Pictures into major losses during the early 90s remains a controversial figure. In his latest profile piece with The Hollywood Reporter, that skepticism apparently spread all the way to Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder while making 2013's Man of Steel. While John Peters received an executive producer credit on Man of Steel, as well as a hefty paycheck along with like he made $10 to $15 million for being banned. It all came with one caveat: please go away. Indeed, according to Peters himself, he was banned directly by the Dark Knight director from the Man of Steel set. My reputation scares these guys, Peters said of Nolan and the Man of Steel company. Still, he was able to brag about making, according to his assertions, close to 9 figures from his time with Clark Kent. So, blah, 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 blah. And he doesn't talk about any, I'm looking to see if he said anything specifically. But the point is, the man was banned from the set, and he still made $10 to $15 million. So, can Kathleen Kennedy be banned from the set? Then yes, he absolutely can. He can. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that, people don't really seem to buy this as something that's legit, but it absolutely is. It absolutely is. And, it's just one of those things that we're going to have to see how this continues to play out. But ultimately, I do believe that maybe in a worst case scenario, I don't believe that she's been outright banned from the set like John Peters was banned. I do not believe that at all. And I'm not even saying that I believe that she's been asked to not be on the set. What I'm saying is that's one of the ways that this can be formed, is to say, hey, Kathy, you know, your vision and my vision don't really see eye to eye. Maybe this is a conversation she had with Jon Favreau. Your vision and my vision aren't seeing eye to eye. So do you mind if, you know, I need you to stay off of the set because your presence there, you know, is distracting for the crew and we're trying to have a singular vision. Maybe it was a respectful conversation, you know, you don't know, but it can be formulated as she was banned from the set. There's just a lot of different ways that this can go around. Ultimately, I don't believe that she was outright banned from the set like Jon Peters. If anything, I believe that there was a possibility that she was respectfully talked to by Jon Favreau and asked to leave the set. That's as far as I could go with this story. But it's not as far-fetched as you would think based on the situation with Nolan and Jon Peters, as I have suggested. There is something to this. There is a precedent for it. While it does seem a little out there, there's still a precedent, so there's that much. So ultimately, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money thanks to Kathleen Kennedy. Raylos are weird thanks to Ryan Johnson, and we will talk to you later.